Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Denver, Colorado. Today we got a fun one for you.
Super fun.
It's actually All-Star Week here.
Yes.
Those of you that don't watch baseball, it's All-Star Week, home run derbies tonight. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about why Denver might not be for you. So stay tuned.
Let's check it out. What's up, guys? We are the Mile High Property Brothers. I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my partner, Will Grimes. If it's your first time checking out our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell, because every Tuesday, every Thursday, we're dropping a new video telling you everything there is to know about moving to or living in the Denver, Colorado area.
100%, and we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with your real estate needs. So that number popping up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages. We're also the guys who answer the emails. We've got some fun B-roll for you today.
Right.
We're going to be talking about why Denver might not be for you. They didn't let us behind the scenes to talk to any of the players. We definitely looked the part.
Right,
I think we're missing like a media tag. We're gonna sneaky squirrel drone it.
That's right, that's right.
We're gonna be talking about it and more, just to give you guys some context. Not so much whether you should be moving to Colorado or not, but just more so, do you need to live in Denver?
Yeah.
Right, and we'll talk about a couple of these things today, and maybe you don't move to Colorado, who knows? But if you are looking at moving here, it's more so, hey, do I need to live in the heart of Denver, or is there somewhere else I should be? So let's talk about it. Is it for you, or is it for not?
Okay, guys, so jumping into it, the reason you're probably looking at this video, or the reason you probably found this video, is you're searching moving to Denver, Colorado. What's it like to live in Denver? Now, something, guys, that we think a lot of you guys should know is that for the majority of the people that reach out to us that are moving to Denver, is that a lot of you guys are not ending up living right in the city of Denver.
Correct.
So that's something that we kind of wanted to dive into today, because I think a lot of people may think or just get that misconstrued with, hey, suburbs of Denver, do I need to live in Denver, and what does that look like? So we kind of want to dive through some of those points.
Correct. And so for me, let's just hit it off. Number one, transportation, right? So public transportation in and out of Denver tends to be really good. In addition to that, you've got public transportation, and more specifically than like bus, you've got light rail, goes all the way up toward Longmont, all the way down almost as far as the Springs and into Castle Rock. So it's super good. There's a lot of working remote from home nowadays. So, man, unless you really just have a desire to be in the heart, it's not necessarily mandatory that you be down here. But if you're worried about traffic, or if you're worried about like the public commutes, not as much of an issue as you might think. And more specifically, some people just, once they get here, they like living up on the western slope. They don't necessarily want to be in the heart. So we're not like a Chicago or a downtown LA. It's definitely a downtown Denver. It's definitely big. It's definitely a downtown, but not one where you're just gonna like solely exist here and not venture out. And when you venture out, you might realize that there's some other places pleasurable, and your commute into work not as bad. If you're working remote, even more so not as bad.
Yeah, guys, and speaking to Denver's location, if we were to use Will's famous clock analogy, Denver,
it's famous, but it's definitely
on our channel it's famous.
Proficient.
Denver is the center of the clock hands. Denver is the hub of the wheel, per se. So once you start exploring what it's like to live here, even if you're working and officing out of downtown Denver, maybe you're even coming into town 5 days a week and you're not working remotely, what you're gonna find is that Denver is so centrally located that once you really weigh the pros and cons, cost of living, and you're able to see what type of house you can get either north, south, east, or west that's equal drive into Denver, man, you just get so much more bang for your buck. Correct. In these outlying cities, and a lot of times it's not more than maybe 30 minutes to get into Denver.
However, let's go with the reason of like maybe why you would want to live in Denver, right? You've got the new McGregor Center, which is phenomenal. You've got a lot of really cool townhomes, and the Four Seasons is down here. If being in the heart is a little bit too much, remember city and county of Denver. So you've got Cherry Creek North. True. You've got the Highlands. You've got a couple of other places that give you like that feel, and you've got some nightlife and some activity. It's definitely like that inner city feel. You don't necessarily have to be in the heart of downtown, but you're still in the county of Denver, and you got that. So A couple of different options for you if you have not seen our Cherry Creek video, more specifically Cherry Creek North, or covering Lodo and in the lower Highlands. Phenomenal little spots. Yes, low high. Yes, has a couple of single family homes. Really cool spot. So if it's, you just really got to dial in, like, is it necessity? And I've got to be down here? Is it, well, I want to feel certain atmospherics of a certain area? There's just a lot of flexibility in and around Denver, I think, is what we're trying to get at.
Yeah. And to dive into a little bit about the lifestyle here, you know, Denver is considerably slower paced than somewhere like a Chicago or New York. But if you are coming here and you are looking for a slow paced lifestyle or slower paced, you still might find it's a little high pace for you living down in Denver.
Even like, so for All-Star Week, right, you've got the Home Run Derby tonight, you've got all the bar and grills that are all speeding up, you've got the McGregor Center, which has got media day, and you've got all the All-Stars coming out for their press conferences. It's still manageable as far as the traffic. Like, we got down here with, you know, from our office, which is in Denver Tech Center, within 30 minutes, I think just under 30 minutes. Finding a parking spot wasn't terribly bad.
Nope.
And it's All-Star Week. Obviously, as the week builds, it'll get a little bit more busy, but even our busy downtown times, like, they've done a really good job with the infrastructure and some of these, like for example, the McGregor Center, a couple of years went into that. The roads around it, so you can still have a good commute. Like, you're never getting super stuck. The roads aren't too jam-packed traffic-wise, right? Like, I'm not sure how to make this up for you guys, but like roadways and just the commute inside of downtown is not as bad as you might think.
Now, another thing that may be a concern to you is that living downtown, you know, in the past, there used to be a lack of just everyday necessities. Like, when I lived down here, man, years and years ago, there was no good downtown grocery store. There was no, like, good hardware store, just a place to go and get everyday necessities. Now there's a brand new Whole Foods down by Union Station. You've got another King Supers. You've got other just natural grocers that have popped up right
King
downtown.
Supers off of Spear, just down the street.
That was the one I used to have to go to, and it was like in a basement and weird. Is that still in a basement?
It's not in a basement. It's just got a parking garage that's attached to it. So
yeah,
you got day drinkers crashing bikes out here.
Hell yeah.
Hey, leads me to my next point. Like, if you ride a bicycle
or a scooter.
Hey, no double commute on a scooter, man. Stop trying to save that much money.
Yeah, tandem. We saw it.
Don't be cheap. Get your girlfriend a scooter and let her drive a scooter, unless she's buzzed and she can't drive and she's gonna hit a car. I'm not sure, but again, like, my biggest pet peeve is when I get stuck in traffic. It's not for me. So when we come down here into Denver to do a lot of video, the fact that, like, the red lights are adequate, the spacing between lanes are adequate, and you can get in and out reasonably well. With all of our expansion, super plus.
Yeah, guys. And living downtown, again,
you lived downtown for a little while.
I did live downtown for a while. Long while.
Boy.
Yeah, I did live before moving back to the suburbs. And the biggest thing, and this was, man.
He was a bouncer at Danny Dan's and lived downtown.
Tried to be. Is parking, guys. So parking is a big issue downtown. Again, we had no issue here, but when you're living downtown, you want to make sure that you've got covered parking. You want to make sure that whatever house or condo or whatever you buy comes with a dedicated space, because far too many years of my life has been spent driving blocks and blocks and blocks.
Well, that, and you've got weather here. So we've got 4 seasons, and one of our seasons we should just call hail season.
Yep,
we get good rain in the spring, and a lot of those storms turn into hail. And yes, hail damage on vehicles is a regular thing out here. Your insurance should cover it. You should be okay. But more importantly, it's just a hassle if you got to get that recovered, right? So, or repaired. So if you're buying down here, having a garage or some covered parking.
It's huge. You got a car full of groceries, it's raining or snowing out, the last thing you want to do is walk 5 blocks because you couldn't find a place to park, and then you got to walk 5 blocks back to your car in the morning. So that may be a reason. If you love, now that I live in Parker, man, or any suburban town for that matter, the fact that I can pull into a nice garage, walk right into the house with my groceries, game changer.
He's just grown a lot. You know, Eli used to be a drummer in a rock band, and just like every chick wanted him, and he's just like living this life, right? And downtown living and whatever it may be, but hey, now he's married and he's got an amazing wife and kiddo, and
it's true.
He lives in Parker.
I
know. It's amazing. It's like, man, if you could picture like the white picket fence, just ideal life.
Like the prodigal son.
Good for him. Good for him. But if you're not there yet and you want to live downtown, definitely food for thought. I would say, speaking of food, Denver's food style, like food atmosphere down here has grown a lot. You've got a lot of different companies that have come down here, still a lot of mom and pop shops, but because of the population influx, I think a lot of it's just come, but we're definitely one of the top food places for you guys. So if you're a food connoisseur, if you love going downtown and eating, whether you're living here or not, and you got to check it out and enjoy it.
Ton of good food, guys. Ton of good food trucks. Denver is definitely a foodie location. If you get on Instagram and you type like Denver foodie, you're gonna find so many good places. So, little tip for you guys coming out here: get on your Instagram after you follow Will at Will_Grimes and myself at Eli Schmidt here. Go and type in hashtag Denver foodie. You're gonna find a ton of good places to go check out. All right, guys, to wrap this up, two major points here we want to touch on: cost of living and schools.
Yep.
So again, guys, your dollar, especially when it comes to housing, is going to go further, way further, if you're in any of the surrounding metro areas, okay?
Right.
Again, literally anywhere of the surrounding metro areas, your dollar's going to go so much further. On top, and outside of that, cost of living is pretty much the same. You know, if you're going from Denver to any of the cities, we do have 2 cost of living Denver videos, which are going to be good for you guys to dive into. And then schooling, I'll let Will chat about
Denver
that.
Public Schools, right? Like, take a look at that, look it up. I think they're going to C+. Your younger elementary schools are definitely a lot more popular than some of the high schools that are out here. However, you also have a lot of charter and private schools that are within city and county limits of Denver. So who knows why they've got a little bit lower grading? Is it because a lot of the people that are competitive with school tend to go to private and charter schools? Who knows? Take a look at that. Overall, you're not going to get a terrible experience wherever you go in Colorado as far as education. Colorado's very, very, very strong with education and a lot of the STEM schools and things like that. But just more importantly, what your needs are. And it's All-Star Week, though, right? Like, another benefit, right, is like if you love just lifestyle stuff, you've got the Avalanche, you've got the Denver Nuggets, you've got the Denver Broncos, you got the Rockies. They got to get better. They got to stop trading players. But, hey, we have the All-Star game here. And if you guys know anything about the infrastructure with baseball and business, right, it's like they bring the All-Star game to areas that are still up and coming, ever innovative, tip of spear for just culture. So you'll see a lot of repeat places. I think this is the second time we've had the All-Star game here, but very cool, and it just speaks to where Denver's going. And it's definitely made a lot of changes in the last 3 to 5 years. And most importantly, if you decide not to live in the heart of Denver, no, we're not even close to being incorporated. There's still so much open space in Denver that has yet to be built, especially as you get further out east, where you guys can enjoy it. So
by Denver, he means Denver metro area.
Denver metro area, or even outside of Denver when you start getting into Bennett and different places out east. Anywhere from Denver all the way out to like the airport. There's just so much more that's coming. We're kind of like California in the 80s. There's just a lot more to be incorporated. So if you're still looking at that, it's a great place to be. And it's a great time to start investing in yourself with Denver.
Yep, we still think, guys, a lot of people are asking if it's top of the market. And Will and I have been saying for 5 years that we think Denver is like SoCal in the late 80s, early 90s. And we still think that's the case. Mark my words, there's going to be a time where we look back and we're like, hey, remember how cheap homes were in Denver in 2021?
Yeah.
Mark my words, guys, that's the way we're going. So if you're concerned about us being top of the market, I promise you we are not.
It's not even close, and it just speaks. You also just got to look at the infrastructure of Denver and where it wants to go. A lot of cities, you know, depending on what state you're in, like they don't have a desire to necessarily be this innovative and bring this much attention to their state. The nice thing here is like you've got the mountains, you've got 4 seasons, you've got plenty of open space. So if you don't want to live and be around the noise per se downtown, you've got plenty of quiet Colorado living.
Yep.
That would almost be reminiscent of like a Montana here, and I think that's why it's so desirable. But again, you've got a long time before we're actually overfilled. So if this is something for you, definitely turn those stones. But the new McGregor Center, phenomenal. You've got All-Star Week. You don't get much better. Minus watching us, try to let you know what Denver looks like. It doesn't get much better than that. So you guys enjoy your week.
Yep.
We're gonna go enjoy some All-Stars, some home run derby. I'm gonna catch Eli his first baseball.
Please catch it. Please catch it.
We're gonna have a good time with it, but if you guys have questions, yes, we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado, and yes, we love helping you with your real estate needs more than we love hanging out at All-Star games. So that number popping back up below, we're the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages. We're also the guys who answer the emails. So if there's any questions you guys have, we would love to help you moving forward. But until next video, see you guys soon.
See you guys.
Subscribe.
That's right. Like it if you like it.
Like it if you like it. Get out of here.
See ya.